How does that feel, Jed? Not having to mix it?
I can just watch me spinning round and round and round.
He hates mixing, hates it. We gotta mix it up. Jed's brother Brian. Thank you, Brian. And young Brian.
Morning everyone. Right, this is where we're at. I've got my trench dug. I put a small layer of footings in, only very thin, just to give me a perfect level. So I've got me slot going. My neighbours are going to be loving me. It's only about 8:15 in the morning and it's Sunday, but I've got to get this done today because it's forecast to lash down tomorrow. Oh, right. We've got the first two in. I don't know whether you can see the spirit level, but that's looking quite straight to me. Because trying to manoeuvre these 2x2s is an absolute nightmare. But to save money, we're using what materials we've already got in the garden. So we've got plenty of these 3x2 flags. So rather than skip them, I'm going to use them. So you can see how deep they've gone down. They're not going to move in a million years time. Time for a coffee.
And
Oh boy, are they heavy.
we're gonna paint. Jet wash them and paint them all blue. Hello.
Hello sunshine. The back part is done. Video.
Hold on.
Just got to be backfilled now.
And painted
wait
blue.
Wait for it to go off a bit. But won't be too bad, but it's forecast to last down tomorrow.
Deep. Tried to bury me under that.
Sharon's gonna make me a brew now.
Bye. Oh well, not much getting done today. It's been quite a washout.
But that's it. She's the dugout. I'm just waiting for the whizzer so I can cut a couple of flags and then I can start putting them back in. The garden is starting to take shape.
Is it?
In my head it is.
Let's see then. Let's have a look. Won't be finished till next year, will it?
Morning everyone. On this beautiful, beautiful day. Hello girl. Right, the garden situation. It's been a strange week with the weather and what have you. But today it's absolutely glorious. It's Friday the 31st of July and it's around 7:30 in the morning. So just an update on where we are. I'm still not back at work. I was hoping to be back at work on Monday, but I've had a phone call to say that they don't want me back in Monday. They're sorting some PPE out, and until they sort that out, I've got to stay off, which I find quite strange. But anyway, it gives me more time to crack on with this. So I'm going to show you around and show you where we're up to and what we're going to do, and hopefully today I might try and time lapse this bit. But I'll be honest with you, I haven't been using my cameras, and I since I went out with George and Gary, which was March, and that's like 4 months ago. and I forgot how to use the cameras, the settings and everything. If you're not using them constantly, well I do, I tend to forget. So I'm going to try and time lapse this, but I'll pick you up and I'll show you around where we are. I've got all my mixers set up. I haven't started yet because it's a bit early. I don't want to be disturbing the neighbours. And the cats are absolutely loving it. This is a part of the garden we hardly ever use. But I've took these flags off. These were the 3B2s, and obviously put them in there. And they absolutely weigh a ton. Now you can see how thick they are. And these ones are a bit thinner, and these ones are going in the front. And even though they're only slightly thinner, the difference in weight is unbelievable, because moving them big boys was a job and a half. Hello girl. Yeah, and as you know, we have all this netting up right around the garden so the cats can't get out, because in the past one of the cats that we did have got killed, so we decided to keep them in, and the garden's big enough for them. So she's trying to get out because she knows I'm on the other side. What's to do, girl? Hey. Right, she's all dug out, ready for the other flags to go in. It's like a World War I trench. What do you think of it, Callie? Rubbish. So they think it's an absolute adventure playground. They're absolutely loving it. There's little Luna. Come on, girl. What's to do? Very curious. I'd just like to say that I always seem to get all the praise for doing this, but you wouldn't believe the amount of work what Sharon does. I take my hat off to her. She doesn't stop, and she gets stuck in. She does more than me, to be honest. I'm just trying to pick a spot where to stick this camera so I can do a time lapse, because I don't want the sun glaring into the lens. And what we've been doing as we've been taking the stuff out, and rather than having it lying round, because we didn't want to fork out money on skips because they're so expensive, we've been taking it, well, I say we, Sharon has been going backward and forward to the tip. Luckily the tip's literally 5-10 minutes away in the car, so she's been whizzing backward and forward to the tip with all the rubbish. We will eventually need to get a skip, but that'll be at the end of the job, because hopefully when all this is down, that's one of the old sheds that we're just using for storage, that'll be gone. I'm gonna get a mini digger, come in, and I'm gonna level the whole garden before I actually lay the porcelain tiles, because there's going to be porcelain tiles there, and then there'll probably be a path of them going across to this, which is going to be a seating area, because the first one to go in today is a cut. So when I got which is this one, that's going in here, and then that'll be a full one. I don't like to put the cuts on the end, I always like to put them inside. Yeah, so I cut that last night because I didn't want to cut it first thing this morning and wake the neighbours, so I cut that last night, got everything set up so I can come out. When I put these back ones in, these are the really thick ones. We dug the hole too deep because we were initially going to have the flags level with the seating area, then we changed our minds and we're going to put sporadic flags on the seating area with slate in between them. So these had to come up a good 2 inch, maybe more, above. So obviously I didn't have to dig this trench as deep as this one, because if you remember, I ended up sitting these on a 2 inch block, or just under 2 inch block, but it was a nightmare trying to get them level. So what I'm going to do with these ones, I'm just going to do a dry mix. Yeah, the reason I'm doing a dry mix, well, it's not completely dry. If you look at this, it's just damp. The reason I've done it like that is because the trench that we dug, obviously we've had a lot of rain, so it's really wet. So when I put that in, this will absorb the moisture out the ground, and then that'll go over hard, and then I'll put a normal mix in, but with a stronger content of grit, the bigger grit, which will make the concrete stronger. No, that's the pea grit that I'm using. I'm using pea grit to do the bed base, and then I'm going to use 20mm gravel for a really strong concrete to put around the front, so it'll be a hopefully be retaining wall.
So it won't fall down as we're walking off it, in other words.
All fall down.
So I'm clearing all this today, and then I'm going to do that shed, which is up the wall. My Jed's over there. He's doing a time lapse of putting the 3x2 flags in. See, he always gets the easy, straightforward jobs.
As you can see, I've got the first two in. I've got the GoPro doing a time lapse. So I've stuck me set square on, and that looks pretty square to me. And I've got my spirit level. That looks quite level. So I'm happy with that.
Right, said Fred, both of us together, one each end and steady as we go. Tried to shift it, couldn't even lift it, we was getting nowhere, and so we had a cup of tea, and right, said Fred, give a shout for Charlie, up comes Charlie from the floor below. After straining, even and complaining, we was getting nowhere, and so we had a cup of tea, and Charlie had a think, and he thought we ought to take off all the handles, and the things what held the candles.
Oh, that's it, at long last. They're in. I've threw a bit of muck down the bottom. Let that go off. It's just like a first tack. Let that go off tonight, and then throw a bit more in tomorrow, and then it's ready for backfill. But it's starting to take shape now. You can shape like a gun. Is the GoPro picking that up? Yeah, you can see the shape of it now. Oh dear, there'll be no groundwork done today. I'm just hoping that concrete's gone off. Yeah, time for the brew, I think. The DD tarps are doing its job though.